say shit. See that shoes, yeah. I can't remember. Today's been a long day. I don't think it was hot, but it wasn't really hot outside.
Ready? Is that the six?
Yeah.
Who we
Guys
waiting
don't
on?
wanna just go ahead and start.
Who we waiting
She's not coming at all.
on? Oh, no, she said she wasn't coming because her dental appointment.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you heard me when I said
Yeah.
she said she wasn't
I
coming.
thought she was just running late.
Oh, no, she said she couldn't come because she's still in the dental chair.
Okay.
Oh, didn't know you was still.
That's right.
That's what she texted.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Sorry for the delay. Welcome to our regular board meeting here at the Maple Heights Board of Education. It is Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. We're located at 5740 Lawn Avenue, and the time is 6:08 p.m., and we're in the boardroom. We are going to appoint Ms. Shepherd as the Treasurer Pro Tem. Can we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. Mr. Sluka, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Ms. Granger,
Here.
Ms. Shepherd,
Present.
Ms. Moore,
Here.
Ms. Cheeks, Mr. Blackwell.
Here. Can we have a motion to move into executive session
So
for the
moved.
purpose of number 1?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion?
Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Moore,
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. We're now in executive session at 6:10.
last year, but I ain't finished not one thing. I mean, you haven't been here
All right. Can I have a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Luke, have a roll call, please.
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Now we'll have a report from our treasurer.
Let's start with the minutes and for approval from the May 27th meeting.
Okay. So can we have a motion to approve the board minutes from the May 12th Committee of the Whole?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Ms. Shepherd?
Roll call?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes.
Next up, financial report. Let's go over that real quick. I think the biggest thing in the financial report is the cash summary by report. And at Ms. Moore's suggestion, I highlighted, make it a little easier to see which funds are in the negative, and I highlighted. So we had 9 funds in the negative, 8 of which were grants. We did issue PCRs on those grants, and we received money already last week. There's 2 grants that I want to bring to your attention to. I'm still working with Title 6B. We need to do a budget revision, and I'm getting all the numbers right now before I can do a PCR for Title 6B. We're going to do a mass budget revision to that based on the current expenditures. And then I noticed the 507 fund had a negative balance. That was the ESSER fund. So I have to do a little research on the ESSER fund to see why it was overspent. I just think money got moved more to the general fund than we anticipated. So we either need to do that a transfer, or we can do a adjustment to the expenditures to match that to zero, because all the ESSER money has been spent. So why that fund's in the negative, we'll have to do a little bit more research. We'll get that taken care of at the June meeting and making sure. As for the 300 student managed activity fund, being in the negative, the biggest one of that is the athletic fund, and I anticipate doing a transfer in to eliminate that deficit in June when we get all the final expenditures for the athletic fund in there. So that's the key of the negative balances there. So by the end of June, we will either do advances or transfers in for all of these funds that are in the negative to be in compliance at the end of the fiscal year. So you'll see that resolution coming at the June meeting. And the other, and then we have our checks issued, and I wanted to also get the investment report in. I don't see it here, but I want to include that in the financial report for June, and I'm hoping Connie moves it forward. I think it's very important that the board sees where the interim funds are being invested, and also to assure them that we're following the Ohio Revised Code requirements for investing school district funds. So it's a big portion of our reconciliation, investing these funds, and where we make a lot of interest income. So I think it's important that the board sees and approves the investment report. That way they know where their money is going and how we're investing the school district funds. So that's the financial report
Okay.
for April.
All right. So can we have a motion to approve the financial report for the month ending April 30th?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, concerns? Seeing none, Ms. Luker.
Ms.
roll
Shepherd?
call, please.
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes.
All right, next up here on the financials is the approval of a fiscal services agreement. As you know, that the board is accepted the resignation of our payroll person here in the district. She's moving to another district. So for the continuity of payroll, we pursued looking outside to get support for payroll services until such time as we needed to have Connie in here and finding somebody to do that. Payroll is a very important cog right now, and we want to make sure, because teachers and all the staff are still paid throughout the summer and every 2 weeks. So we don't want to lose that continuity. So there's really two pieces of not losing that continuity. One is hiring a outside firm that does that, a shared services alliance that provides payroll support services, and then continuing with the current employee who's willing to come back, and that's later on here in the board agenda. So this is the contract for the Shared Services Alliance with the Educational Service Center to do payrolls, continue that service on until such time that we can find a permanent payroll person. So that's this agenda item right here.
Okay, so, Mr. Sluka,
Yes.
we are going to table this
Okay.
for now.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have more discussion about some of the things in the agreement.
Okay. Sure. So you just need a motion to table.
Okay, so can I
We'll
have a
put that in
motion to table this agreement?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Let me just, sorry. My shorthand is like really, yeah.
Okay,
Ms.
Ms.
Shepherd?
Sluka?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes.
And then the last piece is the five-year forecast, and I have a brief presentation on the forecast. See if technology is working up front here. So in front of you, you have what's called a financial forecast key indicators and analysis. And really what it is a summary of the actual forecast that we'll be filing with the state. The actual forecast is this document right here, and it provides a more in-depth. Oh, there we go. Now everybody can hear me. Can you turn it back off now? So you have this, the actual forecast is right here. This is a more in-depth, detailed forecast piece of how we generated our numbers and the assumptions, which is very important to the forecast. This is what's going to get filed with the state. We will also post this up to our website. But what I wanted to do is go through, and rather than go in-depth in here, you have a chance to read it yourself. I just want to go over some of the key indicators of the forecast and where Maple Heights Schools is at right now. As you know, this is the May forecast. Ohio Revised Code requires 2 forecasts a year, the initial forecast in November, and then the follow-up forecast in May. This is the follow-up forecast for the fiscal year in May to see where we're at. So. First one I wanted to talk about was the actual, where we came out this year. And from the general fund revenue and general fund expenditures, we had a gain this year of $6.32 million. So what we had took in more money than we paid out this year, which is a good thing. The only caveat I'm going to caution everybody about is don't get too comfortable with that $6.6 million as we go forward later in the presentation, and I'll tell you why there's an issue with that amount. So just an overview of revenues to see where the revenues come from for Maple Heights Schools, and I'm sure you've been through this a lot, but the revenues, local taxes generates 30% of the district's revenues, state funding generates 57%, and all other revenues, 13%. So as you can see here, most of the funding, majority of the funding comes from the state. So that's why critical right now that we are watching the budget process going on downstate and see where that falls out with Maple Heights Schools and all the school districts in the state of Ohio. when a lot of the funding is coming from there, it's very important that we follow that and watch that because it has key ramifications here with the district. So, and then we'll go on the other side. And you can see here that the breakout of expenditures, personnel costs are 70%, purchase services 20, and all other 11. This is a very good indicator. We like to say that you should have personnel, wages, salaries, benefits should be under the 80% threshold because it creates more flexibility for the district to do other things and not be so tied to just wages and benefits. That 70% percentage is, I think, a really good thing. I think I just lost the mic again, but I don't know if you got bored with me or something, none of the batteries. So, but that's where the expenditures are going. So, in the purchase services, I'm gonna say that 20%, a majority is for, right now, special ed. But that's key to all districts, the majority is special ed. But you also have such thing as maintenance services, you have your utilities coming out of there, you have your health services out of there, and a lot of the other purchase services. And then all other expenditures are materials and supplies, capital outlay of 11%. So, that's where the expenditures are going. This is the key forecast revenue to expenditures. You can see here in this graph, which I'd like to point out is that the key thing here is from 24, 25, 26, you can see that we're generating revenues in excess of expenditures, which is a good thing. However, you can see in 27, 28, 29, revenues kind of like flatten out or going down, expenditures are going up, and that's a key indicator of its crossing, and that's the key point we need to keep an eye out on is when they start crossing, then we start to look and start planning to make sure that we're balancing the budget. So, and then you can see as revenues get lower and expenditures get higher, that starts eating into the cash balances. So we just something that we forecast does is to provide that identifier in the outlying years to make sure that we do proper planning as we move forward. So here's the annual change in revenue, and you can see the projected annual change in revenue. Oh, new mic, look at that. Sure it did. Got really bored with me, didn't it? All right, thank you. So you can see in this one that projected annual revenue change is a minus 1.44%. Here's the issue. The county fiscal officer over-collected for the emergency tax levy for Maple Heights schools. A significant amount of over-collection. Once they realize that they did this, and I'm not gonna tell them, it's up to them to find it. Once they realize they did this, they are gonna want their money back, and it's gonna be over a 3-year period. So what this forecast is showing is that repayment of money. We're gonna have to pay it back, and we're gonna model it here in the forecast, but yes. Right now, the estimate is over $3 million. So, but we're gonna be waiting for the county fiscal officer to tell us just how much in total and what the repayment process is gonna be. I have it modeled here with estimates just to show the true picture of where we stand, the forecast. So we're gonna go back to that first page where we had made 6 million. It really should have only been 3 million, or estimated 3 million, not the 6. So it's in here, so we know we have it accounted for. When and if they come back to the district and say we need to do that, we're gonna rely on them. So we apprised them of it, the situation, it's just still up to them. We're not, and I'm gonna say we're not the only district they did it to, so you're gonna say what caused it. What ended up causing it is that the significant increase in valuation that most of the inner ring districts were seeing in this past reval year. What they're supposed to do is they're supposed to reduce the amount of millage that they're charging for emergency levies because it's based on the dollar amount. They never did that. They just kept charging the higher millage rate. And then it just adjusted for today. We've adjusted the millage downward to match up, and that's what the board approved back in the tax rate resolution. Should have done it a year ago, and they didn't, and then they overcollected. So, so we accounted for it. We'll just see what they want to do. And then on the other side of it, the annual change in expenses, historic and projected annual change. I think it's looking good right now. Starting to plan for next year, that percentage could change, but we're basing the moving forward based on current actuals that we're seeing in the district right now at this point in time, and then moving forward with what I really like to say, well, one is salaries and benefits are already in there because of the negotiated agreement, which is a good thing. So those are known. The other ones, we just use a cost of living inflation factor, depending on what category. I used to use 2 to 3% moving forward in the forecasted years. Days cash on hand. This is another key indicator, days cash on hand. It's looking really good in 25, 26, 27, but you can see it starts going down. The indicator that I like to do is somebody says, well, what's the ideal number? GFOA, Governor's Finance Officers Association, says anywhere between 60 and 120 days cash on hand is prudent, depending on the governmental agency. So we're well above that, so should emergency come up, we do have enough cash on hand to keep the district moving forward with payrolls and everything else. District educated enrollment, we'd like to show this graph because enrollment's going down. We're projecting it to go down, but the reason we're showing this is two things. You can plan out staffing, and you can also know that future state funding is going to be based on always on enrollment. So we know that our state funding, if enrollment's dropping, probably a good thing that, or not a good thing, but it probably is knowing that the state is going to look at that and reduce funding for districts with declining enrollment. So it's two purposes. One is staffing needs and matching up, and also for anticipating state funding moving forward. General fund expenditures is going up. We saw that in the previous graph based on where we're at. You can see it jumped significantly from 24 to 25, and so why did it jump real high? We used ESSER money to offset some of the salaries and benefits. The ESSER money ran out in 24, so you can see how 25 jumped up significantly because we used a lot of ESSER to offset some costs going back there in 22, 23, and 24, and now it's jumped up because we brought all those expenditures back to the general fund. So it's not like we're really spending, it's just that, we actually use ESSER money very prudently to help offset and save that cash balance and moving forward in days cash on hand. Daily cost per pupil, this is another graph I'd like to show up here. Daily cost per pupil is $97. But you can see here again, of that $97 cost of the daily cost per pupil, 23% is local, residential property owners portion, only 23% where the state, federal, and other is 77%. So once again, we're more reliant on the state, and we try to, less burden on the residential taxpayer. So here's another one I like to put up there is compare it to the last forecast. Although I wasn't here for the last forecast, did a little analytical review. You can see here the revenue in the state. State revenue is down in this one on the left. That's because we're modeling right now the House version of the state budget. We still know that it's still going sit through the Senate to see where they come out. Haven't heard any rumors or anything of where the Senate's leaning right now. I know they're taking testimony on the budget. So, but right now the only known is the House version, and we've modeled that here in the forecast. They're budgeting for the schools. The large increase in revenue taxes was once again over collection of the emergency tax levy. That's why it's higher in the forecast from last time. And then on the expenditure side, a couple of things stick out to me. the expenditure for salary and benefits, I know we used up the remaining ESSER funds, so I don't think he had that in the previous forecast, so that saved money to the district there. As far as the purchase services, PTOT costs came in under budget on the previous forecast. Repairs and maintenance came under budget, and special ed transportation came in. So I think there was a big dollar amount for special ed transportation, and that came in way under what was previously forecast. And as far as the expenditures I think the big thing was in looking at trying to do a little analytical review, I think the textbook purchases, whether there was a course of study or something, textbook purchases came in under what was forecasted. Now moving forward, we did put in there textbook purchases to make sure that moving out, if there is a textbook purchase that is needed in the district or a new change of course of study, that's already modeled in the forecast. So we know that those are coming down the road, and we want to make sure that they were in there and forecasted moving forward. So this is basically an overview of the actual forecast. And you can see here the summary of the forecast. And that, what you have in there, and I'll just say that, fiscal year 2027, you can see the revenue surplus or deficit. What you have in your hand and what you see up here for fiscal year 27 revenue surplus, at last minute I added in a big purchase service item for special ed that we got in, so I wanted to make sure it got in the forecast, and it didn't translate up to the one I handed you, but it's in here. The big thing I want to point out is that one thing this forecast does, and this is where we're moving forward, it lets you identify where possible areas are moving forward of things that you need to target and start looking at. And the big thing for me is the revenue surplus or deficit. A lot of school districts, revenues flatline, expenditures are going up. And that's just the way it works. We see that, revenues are gonna, if it's based on the state and the state doesn't come up with the same funding moving forward. Now, the district has money in their funds right now to carry over balance, but it's still, I like to say, let's target 28 and making sure that that revenue surplus deficit does not expand out. So it allows proper planning now moving forward. That being said, it's 2028. Anything can happen. State does a 2-year budget. We forecast for 5, so anything can happen. But there's a few things here that I wanted to point out on this. One is House Bill 96 also has a cash balance provision in it, where it states that if it passes, and this is one of the key issues, it requires the county auditor to reduce funding for local school districts when the cash balance exceeds 30%. Right now, the cash balances are 48.5, 45, 38, 32. Now, what that legislation does, it penalizes school districts for having a rainy day fund, it penalizes school districts for being prudent, and it penalizes school districts that are going out for a bond issue when the bond ratings firm are measuring your cash balance. So this is a key indicator that all of a sudden, if they start taking that money away, now we're scrambling to try to reduce balances on top of revenue deficit spending. So we're trying to work on this very closely downstate and push to at least a cash balance in the school funding piece. I know that that's a big thing with the organizations and the boards of, trying to get that moved out of there. I think it's once again, short-sighted, and they don't understand that, school districts are prudent, they take care of their money, and now you're trying to penalize them. So that's just kind of my aside here with some of the stuff. So three things that we need to concentrate on this forecast. 3-year emergency levy collections need to be repaid. That's in here. The final version of the budget bill, which is an unknown, so those are another factor. And the last one is the revenue surplus in fiscal year 2028 that we need to be conscious of and planning and moving forward on. So those are the 3 key factors taking away from this forecast at this current place in time, you know? Come the end of June, it's all gonna be changed when the budget gets in. We'll see where the cash balance thing plays out. Do we need to do some with our cash balances? We'll definitely, you know, talking about alternatives if that comes in there. What do we do to move our cash balance somewhere else so we don't lose it or don't collect all our money? So with that, I'll take any questions.
Excuse me. What was the special education amount?
The OTPT services were significantly under.
You said they were under?
Yes, under.
Okay.
Yes.
But that wasn't my question, though.
Okay, sorry.
My question was, what did you have to add in that you said that wasn't account for
There,
in special education?
well,
That was a large amount?
Well, what ended up happening is we got a lot of invoices at the end of the year that I was trying to match up, and there was a lot of invoices that came in April and May that I wanted to make sure got into the actual, so I just built in what we're paying out. Because what I do is, we go up and I'll just do actual, and then I'll get to May and June, see what those are projected, and then I come up with a dollar amount to see where we're gonna come at the end of the year. So my projection was May was $270,000 lower than what it should have been. So you put that in there, knowing those costs will be there, then we get a dollar amount, and then we base that for this year, and then we put a forecasted amount of like 3% or 5% inflation factor moving forward. So I had that, I didn't have that number until last minute, and then I wanted to make sure I got it in there, so I was more accurate with the amounts moving forward.
Okay, thank you.
Because I'd like to get, even though May's not done yet, I'd like to get as much information for the actual for May versus the projected. And if I knew it was there, so I just wanted to make sure that got in for May.
Any other questions?
Yeah, any other questions? Feel free if you're looking through the big one here and you can see, like I have more detail and stuff. And this one, which I find it's a lot of detail. I'd rather be more detailed than that, how we get the numbers. And I encourage anybody that, once we get it up on the website to look at that and read that. Because we all know forecast is based on assumptions. And I know what the assumptions are I'm making today, but some of those assumptions with everything going on, could change drastically, especially the biennial budget. That's the biggest one we're watching now, that and the fund balance thing going downstate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Luker. All right. Next is approval of the agenda. Can I
Can we get
have a
the approval of the forecast, Mr.
Oh, I'm
Blackwell?
sorry.
No, you're good.
So, can we approve the 5-year forecast as presented?
So move. Second.
In discussion?
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. All right. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So move. Second.
Mrs. Luker, can I have a roll call,
Yep.
please?
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. All right, next is new business, agreements, contracts. Subject A, Education Service Center of Northeast Ohio Positive Education Program. Superintendent recommends approval of the renewal agreement of admissions of students with the ESC of Northeast Ohio for the Positive Education Program to provide special education services for the 2025-2026 school year. Any discussion regarding? Seeing none, have a motion to approve?
So move. Second.
Mrs. Luker, can I have a roll call,
Ms.
please?
Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is subject B, closing the achievement gap. The 2025-2026 agreement. The superintendent recommends approval of the renewal of closing achievement gap agreement for 2025-2026 school year from August 1st, 2025 to July 31st, 2026. Any discussion regarding this agreement? Okay, seeing none, can I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Ms. Luke, can we roll call,
Yeah.
please?
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is subject C, Frontline Technologies Group LLC agreement. The superintendent recommends approval of the renewal agreement with Frontline Technologies Group LLC for absence and time solution and Frontline Central Solution products related to personnel in the amount of $37,598.20 for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. Any questions or discussions regarding this agreement?
No.
Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Luca, can I
Yeah.
have a roll call, please?
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is Frontline Technologies Group LLC agreement. Superintendent recommends approval of the renewal agreement with Frontline Technology Group LLC for comparative analytics, budget management analytics, and financial planning analytics. Programs related to treasurer services in the amount of $28,459.09 for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. Any questions or concerns regarding this agreement?
I don't have any.
Can we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Luca, can we roll
Ms.
call?
Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is subject E, Brewer Garrett Facilities Service Agreement. Superintendent recommends approval of the renewal facilities service agreement with Brewer Garrett Company to provide district HVAC monitoring, consultation, and services effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2027. Any questions regarding this agreement?
I have a question. I seen on here that these are people that fix the stuff in the Wiley Athletic Center. I was just wondering, did they ever get those blowers on the roof that was like the 9 blowers or something that we had up there fixed?
Good evening, Mr. President,
Good
Mrs.
evening.
Vice President, board members,
Evening.
Mr. Sluka, Mrs. Della Flora. Yeah, the 10 fans were repaired. That was not part of the service plan, though. That was a separate contract that we did with Brewer Garrett approximately about a year ago.
Okay.
So those fans were installed, and they are this summer of 2024, and those fans are operable.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or concerns? Can we have a motion to approve the agreement?
So move.
Second.
Ms. Luca, can we roll call?
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next subject is F, College Now Memorandum of Understanding, MOU. Superintendent recommends approval of the MOU renewal between Maple Heights City Schools and College Now in the amount of $21,500 beginning August 1st, 2025 to July 31st, 2026. Any questions or concerns regarding this agreement?
I don't have any.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the renewal of this contract?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Luker, can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is new business resolutions. Subject A, resolution number 2528, resolution authorizing superintendent to hire staff between Board of Education meetings. Recommendation to adopt number 2528, resolution authorizing Superintendent Olympia De La Flor to hire staff between Board of Education meetings. Any questions or concerns regarding this resolution?
I do. I have a question. What's the difference in this policy, this resolution that you have now than what we've been doing as far as what you've been doing in hiring people? What's the difference that we have to have this resolution on?
Yeah, I'm just following what they've done. I think maybe because of the summer, we have less board
Meetings.
meetings, that's what I'm assuming, but this is just rolled over from what has been done in the past, so I don't know the actual reason, but
Okay.
I'm assuming it's probably because with summer, you meet less,
Okay.
so there might be a longer window of time, for hiring.
Okay. All right.
Any other questions? Seeing none, can we have a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mrs. Luker, can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is subject B, resolution number 2529, resolution authorizing superintendent to accept resignations between Board of Education meetings. It's recommendation to adopt 2529, resolution authorizing superintendent to accept resignations between Board of Education meetings. Any questions or concerns regarding this resolution?
I don't have any.
Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Luker, can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is subject C, resolution number 2530, resolution approving full and final settlement agreement, release discharge, and covenant not to sue. Recommendation to adopt resolution number 2530, resolution approving full and final settlement agreement, release discharge, and covenant not to sue. Can we have any questions or concerns regarding this resolution? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve it?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Luker, have a roll call,
Ms.
please?
Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is subject D, resolution number 2531, a resolution ratifying the action of notifying administrators of the expiration date of their contracts and accepting the recommendations of the superintendent. Any questions or concerns regarding this resolution? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Luker, can I have a roll call?
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is subject E, resolution number 2532, resolution employing Heidi Suter as special education supervisor in the Maple Heights City School District. Any questions or concerns regarding this resolution? Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Luker, have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is resolution number 2533, resolution approving Right Way Transportation LLC independent contractor agreement for non-STRS SERS covered services. Any questions or concerns regarding this contract? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Mrs. Luker, can we roll
Ms.
call,
Shepherd?
please?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
No.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is subject G, Resolution 2534, resolution to abolish position and suspend employment contract. Early childhood coordinator and preschool coordinator. Any discussion regarding this resolution? Seeing none, have a motion to approve it?
So move.
Second.
Ms. Luker, can we roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is resolution number 2543, resolution to abolish positions and suspend employment contract, non-licensed, closing the achievement gap linkage coordinator position. Any questions or concerns regarding this resolution? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Ms. Luker, can I have a roll
Ms.
call,
Shepherd?
please?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is resolution number 2544, resolution declaring notice of intent not to reemploy non-teaching employee. Any discussion regarding this resolution? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is resolution number 2545, resolution creating the licensed position of closing the achievement gap linkage coordinator. Can I have a motion to approve?
Second. Me so move. Lord Jesus.
So moved.
Mrs. Luker, can I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd, or Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is resolution number 2535, resolution for board action on the continuing contract for Joni Kimmel. Here is resolution to reemploy a teacher under a continuing contract. A motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next resolution is 2536, resolution for board action on the continuing contract for Alejandro Nieves Garcia.
So moved.
Resolution to reemploy a teacher under a continuing contract.
Second.
Can I have a roll call,
Ms. Moore?
please?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next resolution is for 2537, resolution for board action on the continuing contract for Nicholas November. Resolution to reemploy a teacher under a continuing contract. A motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Granger? Ms.
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is Resolution 2538. Superintendent recommends approval for reemployment of Tahab Patel under a continuing contract. A resolution to reemploy a teacher under a continuing contract.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Luke, can I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is Resolution 2539, resolution for the continuing contract of Caitlin Tripoli. Resolution to reemploy a teacher under a continuing contract. Give a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Luca, can we
Ms.
roll call,
Ms.
please?
Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is Resolution number 2540, resolution for board action on the continuing contract for Chandra Maxey. So resolution to reemploy a teacher under a one-year extended limited contract.
You have to vote.
We gotta vote.
We gotta go in order?
You
Yeah.
have to go in
A.
order.
Okay, sorry about that. So resolution to reemploy a teacher under the continuing contract.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Luca, can we roll call, please?
Ms. Moore?
No.
Ms. Shepherd?
No.
Ms. Granger?
No.
Mr. Blackwell?
No. The next resolution is to reemploy a teacher under a one-year extended limited contract. Give a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Luca, can we roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is 2541, resolution for board action on the continuing contract of Victoria Newitt. Resolution to reemploy a teacher under a continuing contract. Give a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Luca, can I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Granger?
No.
Ms. Shepherd?
No.
Ms. Moore?
No.
Mr. Blackwell?
No. Next will be a resolution to reemploy a teacher under a one-year extended limited contract. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Luca, can I have a roll
Ms.
call,
Shepherd?
please?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is resolution number 2546, resolution to abolish position and suspend employment contract with the family involvement liaison. Any discussion regarding this? Seeing none, could I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Luca, can I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. Next is resolution number 2547, resolution declaring notice of intent not to reemploy non-teaching employee. A motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Ms. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. Next is new business line items. The board grants permission for board members to attend the conferences, professional workshops as followed at an approximate cost of $6,450 total. Additionally, each board member will be paid $125 per day for the number of days indicated to attend these conferences / professional workshops. Can I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Mr. Graham,
Ms. Shepherd?
please.
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Ms. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. Okay, next is the consent calendar approval. The superintendent recommends approval of all consent agenda items. Employment is specifically conditioned on and subject to successful background checks, receipts and final administrative review of all application records, and receipt of all necessary documentation. Ms. Delafleur, you can let her be through.
Aye.
So the superintendent is asking us to approve letters B through I. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Ms. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. All right. Next, we are at the point of our meeting for public participation. If someone would like to come up to the mic and speak, this is your time to do so. Please state your name and your address, please.
My name is Monica Smith. I'm with Friends of the Bridegroom Ministries. We're in Garfield. We're not in Maple Heights. Okay. We're here because I had talked to you at the Day of Prayer. And we're here to present proposals for after-school programs for the public schools here. We're a ministry that would offer free after-school programs, and I have a list of them here for you. So we have a list of after-school programs for high school through, well, elementary through high school, I guess. Thank you. Okay, so we would offer these based on, you know, whatever timing you all prefer. We don't have any specifics about that. The first program is a college prep program where we just help the children. That may be something like for 11th grade students, so they can be prepared for their senior year on how to look for colleges, what to do, everything that they'll need for that, the paperwork, what their parents will need. We can offer them a class about that after school. We also have a class for alternatives to college. Any kids who do not want to go to college, we have some opportunities to teach them about other trades and things that they could do. Okay. Then we also have a class for middle school students for healthy homemade cooking. Cooking class to teach our children how to eat healthy and things that they can do to learn how to cook at a young age. And then we also have a class for audio recording at a recording studio in Valley View, where we teach the children how to do a trade of recording and understand how to do that process, okay? And then we also have services for any of the students that need fingerprinting, background checks for employment, for college, or whatever they may need. We also have that available. We can come to the schools to do that for them. So these are just some things that we're offering so the kids have something after school to do. If we, can offer these, you would give us a facility, a room or somewhere to do this. These are, this part of our proposal is not religious-based. It's strictly just information and stuff to help encourage our kids in eating well and, going on to success for college. So that's one part of what we'd like to offer. And then we have another part that is religious-based that we'd like to just present to you.
Where's that cord? Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mariah Peters. I'm a recent graduate from Cleveland State University. I'll be full-time teaching middle school in the fall. And I wanted to present our after-school program that is faith-based for students. So I'm just going to read the overview if you all would like to follow along. It's called the Plumb Line Effect. It tells you why in the paragraph beneath. It's a faith-based, gospel-centered after-school program, and it focuses on the teachings of Jesus Christ. In this program, we hope to lead, inspire, and inform students on the importance of righteous as well as biblical living, while encouraging their communication skills, leadership abilities, and personal growth. Our overall mission is to bring forth the hope of the gospel to this uprising generation of students, providing a space where they can learn, grow, and experience the love of Christ. And then I'll read the last paragraph on the second page. How does this Plumb Line Effect after-school program benefit our students? Some of these benefits of this program include personal character development and growth, building communication and collaboration skills, social skills, leadership abilities, fostering positive influence within the school community, and it also creates a space where children of faith can come and practice their faith and find community as well as an aid to their academic endeavors. Any questions?
So now, how long does this class go on? Is it throughout the school year, or?
Yes, throughout the school year. So it'll begin in 2025, of course, in August, and then it'll end the 2026 at the end of the 2026 school year.
I have questions about the academics classes that you presented. How many sessions of each of these different classes do you provide throughout the year?
Well, the college prep has I would say that's about a 6-week class
Okay,
with each one of the different topics. Each child will get a packet with information that they can go through. If they have any questions, if they need help filling out applications for college, we'd be there to help them with that. Financial aid, we would be there for that. So it'd probably be about 6 weeks, but if they needed some extra time, we could extend it based on each child's need.
so you wouldn't do one in the fall and then do one in the winter? Because I know the FAFSA, as far as filling out the package, I know that opens up, I think it's October,
Yeah.
around that
Usually
time.
around that time,
Yeah,
right,
so,
right.
and then for the late people, the students that wouldn't be there to do or apply for it, so you wouldn't do anything, would you have plans to do something in January?
We could.
Another class?
We
Okay.
could do it as many times as is needed. We would like to do it probably their junior year to get them acclimated and everything that they need. And then we could come back and do their senior year around the fiscal, FAFSA time. We
And
could kinda-
normally, how large are your classes?
These classes could be as 30 students.
And all of these classes you just do once a year, or you plan on doing more than one?
We probably do them once a year.
Okay,
Yeah, just to see how things would go with the district and to see how the kids are receptive to it, and then
Mhm.
if the kids, you know, look like they're more would want to know the information, know how to go through it, then we could always do more.
And what other school districts are you in currently?
We're gonna try to do Garfield Heights, we're waiting back from
Gonna
them.
present to them too? Okay.
Yeah, just the two districts
Okay.
that we're right here in Garfield, so just these two districts.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
I have a quick question.
Mhm.
For the audio and recording session, how is transportation for the students? Have
Yeah,
you-
that's what we would have to work with you all
Okay.
on to see how we could get to the studio, how that will work. So that, I know that the studio has funding. They have funding for their program. I don't know if it's through the city or through the state, but we could just kind of work that out. How could we get the kids down there, or would he just bring some equipment here? That would be something we have to work out.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I don't have any questions.
Okay, so we have our contact information on there, so just let us know what we can, how we can help, okay?
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much.
you, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public participation? Seeing none? A motion, do we need to go back into executive session?
Olivia, he wants to know if you need to go back into executive session.
Okay. Okay. Can I have a motion to go into executive session?
So move.
Second.
Can I have a,
Ms. Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Granger?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
You have to read, are you gonna read what we're going?
Yeah, so we're going to executive session for number 1, and no action will be taken.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Blackwell?
Yes. We are now in executive session at 8:07. Thank you all.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.